explorers and scientists, and even the occasional awesome dog.
You mean like Goofy?
No, more like Sergeant Stubby.
Ooh, we'll have to listen to find out.
New episodes of Badass of the Week drop every week.
Obviously.
On the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
We're giving stuff away with the Alan Cox Show. Yes, we're giving stuff away.
For a 23-year hiatus, it is the return of Buzzard Fest. We haven't thrown this in since the year 2000. I think that's how the math works out. It's going to come back Friday, August the 4th. We're going to do it out at Victory Sports Park in North Ridgeville. Incubus, Bush, Live, Filter, Welshly Arms, Kaleidoscope Kid, Winona Fighter. Tickets, info, it's all going fast. buzzardfest.com. I'll get you in here. Pair of tickets for caller 10. We'll see you there. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Are you trying to make us all uncomfortable?
Alan Cox.
It's gross, it's weird, it's not right, it's not cool.
And there's plenty more where that came from. Back to the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Guardians tonight, 6:10, second of 3 against the Detroit Tigers. Guardians lose last night, 6-2, I think was the final. Now let's look ahead to tomorrow night. Let's put that behind us, and let's talk about the Cleveland Funny Bus. Julia Mary is here, although I can't see you. There you are.
Hello. Thanks
How
for
are you?
having me.
Of
Good.
course. Julia Mary, very smart, no last name.
Yep.
Fend off the stalkers.
Exactly.
Good for you. Now, you've been doing the Cleveland Funny Bus for a minute now.
Yeah, this
right?
is our third year.
So, Cleveland Funny Bus, for the uninitiated, every Wednesday in May, we're kind of doing Alan Cox Show night in the Cleveland Funny Bus. So, I'll be there tomorrow night. We leave Collision Bend around 7. But I'm not there to be the funny one. Julia is there to be the funny one.
I am.
And we take people around. I'll just be there. Hey, we take people around, and you show them the sights and sounds. You don't want to miss me going, hey.
Yeah.
I'll probably do some finger guns and, all the faves. And then we drive around, and you show people things that maybe they didn't know. I've been here 13 years, and I am looking forward to learning so much from you.
Yeah, that's essentially, we take people down and around Cleveland. It's a tour, so it's a history tour. But
Yeah.
the cool part is it's BYOB,
Mm-hmm.
and your tour guide is a comedian. So it's like if you had a history professor that was drinking with you. And kind of drunk sometimes. So
Right.
it's a good balance between history and just laughing and
having fun, right?
You're from here, or did you have to learn all of these things?
I had to learn all these things. I was
Yeah.
born in Elyria, so I'm kind
Okay.
of like a refugee.
Right. But the area,
yeah.
I mean. Yeah. You're not from New Jersey or
No,
something.
no,
Yeah,
no, I'm
okay.
from the area. Yeah, and I mean, the more I've learned about the history of Cleveland, it's actually pretty interesting. And a lot of it, you don't even have to write a joke about because it's just funny. And it's
On its own. Yeah, that's nice.
yeah, so, but
Lazy,
yeah.
though.
Lazy?
Yeah.
I think it's-
Write a
I think
joke,
I'm
Mary.
adaptable.
Or Julia.
Did you just call
Julia
me
Mary.
Julia Mary.
Julia Mary is going to throw him off because Mary Santora obviously is usually sitting there. And so you said 3 years now you've been with the Cleveland Funny Bus.
Yeah.
And how did that find you? I mean, how did you...
So I had
You'd been
started,
doing stand-up for a minute, or how?
I had started stand-up in January 2020, which
Yeah.
is a great time to start a hobby that requires a live audience, obviously. But luckily, before everything shut down, Dean approached me after an open mic. I'd been doing stand-up for about 2 months at that point, and he, gave me the spiel. He said it's going to be a BYOB history tour of Cleveland, but essentially it's a rolling comedy show. And he, gave me the card, and we set up a meeting. And I thought, this is either going to be a great opportunity, or I'm going to get kidnapped if I just get on this bus.
Right.
But I haven't been kidnapped. So
Fortunately, no kidnapping.
Fortunately, I was like, this is either too good to be true, or I'm in trouble.
Right. You thought he was going to kidnap you on a comedy bus.
I thought the idea of, hey, you should get on this bus and drive around and show people things.
And it's BYOB.
And
yeah.
it's BYOB.
Right.
It's a PG-13 show. I was like, I'm going to ignore the red flags and just trust my gut. And I'm
Is
glad
it
I did.
that might be some interesting information. This is a PG-13 show.
PG-13 show.
Okay, because that's good information for me to
Yes.
have. Because I like to drop some F-bombs, Bill.
No, yeah, when you
know
especially when you're having some BYOBs.
That's right.
What's some of the wildest? Because people get a little, they get comfortable on the bus and they have some fun. What's some of
Tipsy,
the
they're having fun.
Yeah, what's some of the funnest things that you've ever seen happen go
Funnest
down on that
things.
bus?
I have had one lady in the back take her shirt off. She was sitting with her husband, and she thought it'd be funny to like make a joke about taking her shirt off, and I kind of played into it. And then she actually did, and I said, "Hey, can you put your shirt back on?" And that was the extent of that. We saw.
Yeah, because the downside would have to be like you kind of also have to be a referee in a situation like that. Like you're trying to be cool and have a good time. You don't want to be like the school mom who's like, I don't have to tell a grown woman to put her shirt on.
Yeah.
Even though that is hilarious and fun.
What was she working with? Was it a...
It was. I mean, I wasn't mad. It was just. It wasn't the right setting.
Yeah. Ma'am, if you could just wait
This is
until we...
PG-13.
Yeah. Not
it
NC-17. Yeah, let's do that. But you're not driving the bus.
No.
So there's a driver.
Yes.
You're on the mic going, hey, this is this. Yep. And tomorrow night I'll just be like, hey, everybody, here's Julia. And
then I'm going to go, all right, Alan, this is about me now.
Right, of course, as it's supposed to be. So it leaves from Collision Bend at 7.
Yeah.
And then, so people could go in there, get a couple of pops, bring them onto the bus. Because I think we're sold out for tomorrow night. I think they're gone for tomorrow night. But every Wednesday in May, you can join us. Bill will do one.
I'll do
Mary
one.
will probably do one. Yeah.
Poundcake.
I don't know if Poundcake wants to do one. Do you want to host one of the funny buses, Poundcake?
Looks like he's on the phone.
Oh, he's on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So at least you don't have to, but it's been fun. I mean, it's been...
people have a blast. And at first
Yeah.
people are like, what the hell is that? You know, it's a funny bus. But like everyone that's on it is like, this is so different than I expected. It was so much fun. I mean, I think one guy like 2 years ago said it was the worst experience of his life.
Well,
Boy,
let's not
I
concentrate
thought that
on
was
him.
funny too.
Well, also, it's funny because you're living a really charmed
Was it
life.
that guy's wife?
That was the worst experience of his
Right.
life.
Or the wife of that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
wife got drunk and took her shirt off on the bus.
literally. Yeah, and I think with that, so yeah, we do the tours Thursday through Sunday, but with the Alan Cox special, they get 2 drinks at Collision Bend included in their ticket.
Who knew? Look at that.
So
That's pretty sweet.
yeah,
Sweet
so
deal.
you guys can load up there, and we'll pick people up at 7. We do a stop about 45 minutes in at Flatiron Cafe, and that's where you can like recharge, take a couple shots. They
Have a
usually
whiz.
Have a whiz, wash
Yep.
your hands, you know.
In that order.
yes.
Yeah. Now, what little I found about you said that I found you on a SoundCloud show that was called Funny Christian Women.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how old it is. Were you a Christian comic?
No, I was a Christian. I went to I was a Christian from like age 13 to like 21.
Okay.
I was real into it. I was like the cool little athletic. I had like 1 Corinthians written on my volleyball shoes.
You were that kid.
I was that kid.
So 13 means you weren't like raised with it. You found it.
They found it. I absorbed it. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Your family found it? Is that
Yeah.
what it was? And what was it, like evangelical?
Yeah,
or,
it was
okay.
like cool people church, which I
Right. You can wear shorts.
yes.
Yeah, right.
Please wear shorts, youth group.
Yeah, right. It's like in an old Sears Roebuck, one of those like strip
Yes,
mall
yep.
churches. And so you're 13 and you're like, this is what I've been looking for.
Yep.
Way before, were you a funny kid?
Yes.
Okay.
I've always been a pleasure to have in class.
Right.
And
But so,
attention seeking a little bit.
No.
well, you kind of have to, but you have to be too. You have to be like the, hey, look at me, gene has to be inside of you
It has to be.
to do anything like this, right?
Yeah.
So there's
So
no downside to that.
Then what happened with the church then?
Well, that's a story that I share on the bus, which you're not gonna want to miss.
So 13 to 21, you're heavily into Jesus.
I went to Christian college for 2 years.
And then you got old enough to drink, and you were like, maybe Jesus is going to take a back seat.
yeah.
Was that a local Christian college?
It was Mount Vernon Nazarene University.
Where is that?
In Mount Vernon, Ohio, so outside
Okay.
of Columbus.
Yep.
Yeah, I went there for 2 years, and then we decided amicably that it wasn't a good fit for me because I had a twisted tea in my fridge.
Uh-huh.
But it's funny because we
Ah,
had
the
something
devil's
called
water.
Friday Night Live, and it was like a skit show that the college put on, and I auditioned for it twice, and neither time I got it. So now I'm like,
Right.
who's laughing now?
Right. So to go from Christian college to even a PG-13, this is a big leap. This
Oh,
might,
yeah.
might as well be like Def Comedy Jam for you.
Well, the story that you tell on the bus, I don't think is all that. I mean, maybe it's the way you tell it, but it doesn't. The way you've told it at my shows is not that PG-13.
There's always been two wolves inside of me. The one is a Christian, the other one was not.
But mom and dad are still in it? I
Yeah.
mean, were they disappointed when you said, hey, I'm out? Because our own Bill Squire is very much of that mold
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys have talked about that.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but I think at this point they kind of just know that it's not for
That's
me.
what it is,
So I'm like,
yeah.
instead I'm going to go on a bus and talk about dirty jokes to the Clevelanders.
Do you? Well, listen, if you're going to break, you should make a clean break. Make a full-on, don't dip your toe into it,
Oh,
right? Yeah. You have siblings?
Yeah, I'm the oldest of 6.
Oldest of 6. They are into Jesus, aren't
Yep,
they?
they
Wow.
love it.
And are you the only one that's the heretic now? Are you
Yes,
the only?
as of
okay.
now, I'm still got some working on the younger ones.
Right. Oldest of 6.
Yeah.
Because what are you, 22?
Oh, thank you. No, I'm 29.
Well, okay, but you're in your 20s is what I'm saying. So how old's the youngest then?
10.
10.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And my friends always tease me and say that I'm technically like 18 because I believed in God till I was 21. So I'm just delayed a couple of years.
Right. Yes.
I saw Step Brothers for the first time ever a year ago.
So it's really, right. It's really like you're
This
still
whole new world,
learning
yeah.
kind of. Yeah, well, that's very exciting for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night is going to be the first Alan Cox Show night on the Cleveland Funny Bus. We're doing it every Wednesday night in May. I'm pretty sure tomorrow night is sold out, but you can go to funnybus.net. Julia Mary is one of your comics who is very funny on this bus and kind of shows you what's going on in your town. They talk about being a tourist in your own town, which is a fun thing to do, right?
There's a lot about Cleveland that people will tell me afterwards that they've lived here for 20 years. And even if it's a handful of things they learned or the way I phrase it, a different way to look at it,
Yeah.
just how things have happened.
And what I would think is that conceivably, if somebody gets on there and has such a great time that they really, really get lit up, they're not obnoxious, but they really get lit up, they might forget a lot of it and then come back and it's all new to them
I've
again.
gotten that too.
Yes.
I've had and that's the thing. It's hard to imagine, but people get extremely lit. But at the same time, it's not a party bus. It's
Right.
like and I always joke and say that out of all of the professions and different people I've done this with, the 2 groups of people that get the most hammered are teachers and nurses.
Yes.
And those are 2 groups of people that
Because they have to say
deserve-
so buttoned up the
They
rest
have-
of the time.
And those are like first time I ever shotgunned a beer, I got pressured by a group of teachers on the funny bus.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's all, and like we have all different types, different ages of people, and we the hardest part and my favorite part is getting 34 different people that are from different backgrounds all on at least one page or the same chapter
Yeah.
of and it's people by the end it's like a family, dare I say it.
So how many do you end up doing over the course of, because it's year round or no? Did I misunderstand
we
that?
are
That
open from like April 1st to December 24th.
Okay.
And in October, we switch up our route, and it's the same concept. Everything's the same, except we go by the most like haunted places in Cleveland. So
Okay.
it's a Halloween tour. People dress up. We do a Halloween game. And then in December, same idea as far as same concept, but we go past the prettiest Christmas lights in Cleveland. So if you
Right.
wanted to come on the bus a couple of times
Is
a
there any
year,
crossover there between the haunted places and the Christmas lights?
that's not something that's ever crossed my mind before, Bill.
This is the haunted nativity crash in Mr. Johnson's yard. And
What's one of the most haunted places in Cleveland?
The Franklin Castle.
right, my
Oh,
old
of
Go
hood.
by
course,
that
yeah.
one, and
Yeah.
I get kind of scared telling a joke by that one because that one scares me. I'm like, I'm gonna pay my respects and we're gonna quietly go by this.
Well, I think you
Don't
can
be afraid
spend
of
the
those
night there,
stupid
right?
Ghosts.
Can't you like spend the night there or something? Like you
Yeah, I
have-
think so
yeah.
now. I think they fixed it all up, and it's
It was still, when we lived in
Yeah.
Ohio City, it was still like under construction for 9 or 10 years.
It was
or
under
whatever.
construction forever, but I think
Yeah.
it's open now, and you can stay there. Ooh, and it's all spooky because
Oh, so spooky.
tourism needs spookiness.
I would love to,
Uh-huh.
Bill. I would love to just give you a Ouija board and make you stay the night there one night.
yeah,
and
that'd
see
be
what
fine.
happens.
He would, nothing would come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be fine. It'd be okay. We'll do
No,
a
it'd
show
be-
trip or something.
Even if there was a ghost, I'd be like, "What's up, ghost?"
Hey, what up?
That'd be ideal. I would love there to be actual proof of a ghost.
Right? That's all anybody
It'd be
wants.
amazing.
We want to believe. We're all Fox Mulders. We want to believe this stuff. So there had to be a period of, or there probably still is, you're in the middle of kind of a lot of deprogramming, for lack of a better word, right? Because I grew up hardcore Catholic, and it's like, you can take the boy out of church, but you really got to work to take the church out
Yeah.
of the boy. And getting kicked out of Catholic college or Christian college.
I was like, oh, you did too?
No, I did not. But I mean, I went K through 12 to
Yeah.
Catholic school. You didn't go to Christian high school.
No.
You were like, I'm going to go to college. And-
Yeah. No, I definitely think the deprogramming, and for me, the more I came out of it, the more I realized how much of it was, I don't want to say faked, because in that time period, I believed it. That's what, I thought I believed. But things just made so much more sense for me after I got out of that.
Right.
I think the guilt, I'm sure you can relate with the whole Catholic thing. The guilt is a weird thing to adjust to, not feeling guilty all the time for drinking or whatever. But then also being like, hey, maybe I shouldn't drink at noon on Monday because that's just
Yeah,
what
you
a
gotta
normal
find a
person.
You gotta
little
figure
bit
where
of
the
a
lanes
balance.
are.
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
So you're when you're not doing Funny Bus, what are you doing? You're doing stand up. You're doing other stuff.
I've been doing stand up. I work in a restaurant, so whenever I can get off at work in time or make it work, I try to jump on Bill's show at High and Dry every Thursday. Love that room.
You crush it there too.
I love that room. I like
what I love about watching you do stand up there is you always make a friend and an enemy. Usually
that's a good night.
You'll make like a friend of a woman in the audience, and like I've seen so many shows where people will come up to you or come up to me after the show and they're like, oh my God, Julia was so funny and she's like the best. But then you'll also find a dude in there and just kind of cut him down in a funny way, but like you can tell like it also kind of hurt him.
Yeah.
you get to the core.
I'll just look at someone and go, "Are you insecure about your height?" And then there's just my biggest enemy. No, yeah, I like that room. So I do stand up most nights when I can. I've been trying to get on East End as well too. I do other shows besides Bill's, but not ones that I do like open mics.
Yeah, I understand.
We just did a show at Hilarities last Thursday.
Yeah, that game show.
We got robbed, but
yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
all right.
Oh, you guys did that. I remember
The stand-up
you
get
mentioning
down.
it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But it's all right.
Well, it's good to meet you.
Yeah, thank you
for coming in.
I'm
And I
looking
will see you
forward to
tomorrow. That's right. Julia Mary is going to be your tour guide tomorrow night on the Cleveland Funny Bus. Every Wednesday in May, we're doing it with the Alan Cox Show and WMMS. Go to funnybus.net. Tomorrow night's sold out, but get some tickets for the remainder of the Wednesdays or any night you want to go. One of us doesn't have to be there. You can go anytime you like. But funnybus.net is going to have all of the details for you. Where are you on social if people want to follow you?
So my Instagram is Julia Mary, 2 A's after Julia.
2 A's after Julia.
3 Y's after Mary.
Gotcha.
I'll work on that. We'll clean that up.
Yeah.
We'll clean that up.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I got to take a break here. If you want to text for anything, 35192, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on